All right. I think I think I got everything working right now. Yeah, I think everything is working right. I believe I am back. I believe I am back. Ooh, boy. Let's see. Check 1 2. Got audio back. All right. Carolyn says we're back. Got my audio issues worked out. Hello again, everyone. Hello again, everyone. Sorry about that. It even sounds better in my ear now. I should have known something was going on. Hello, everyone. Now you can call. So, whoever that was calling, if you want to call in, now you can call in. I can take calls now. Oh, Tim Sullivan, I haven't heard from you in forever. Yeah. Yes, and we are back. We were talking about the team, the little league team, the little league team. They were at a game, and let me see. I have a call coming in. Caller.
Hi, Emanuel.
Yes.
Yes, things are much better now. Thanks for having me back. This is Fame Rothstein.
Oh, hey,
How are
what's
you
up?
doing?
I'm doing good. I owe you a
Uh,
call. I'm gonna call you later on today.
that's fine. You might not want to after today because
That's all right.
you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong.
What am I wrong about?
These kids, that Little League World Series ain't got nothing to do with no damn race. Leave that
Oh,
typical fake woke, those sweeping generalities from society don't always apply to sports. Those kids, every kid on the team was doing it because they were saluting the breakout star of Little League World Series, the kid from Hawaii who's got a white mohawk.
oh my goodness. Fame.
Yeah, no, yes, sir. Go ahead.
See, this becomes the problem when you tune in a little late and you want to tell me I'm wrong. Fame.
Oh,
I said that.
well, okay. Well, I'm talking to your congregants then because
Oh,
they still out here being misled.
well,
You
but
know,
again, I blame America. Fame. It's not our fault that we see so much racism and so much racial insensitivity that when we see something, it's easy to jump to that conclusion because there's a very small chance that you might be wrong if that's the conclusion that you jump to.
oftentimes, Emmanuel, it is when it comes to sports. Because, as I said, sweeping generalities about society don't apply to sports. Uh, Take, for instance, yo boy, Colin Kaepernick. You know, uh, all that little trouble he caused, you know, nobody
What?
accepting the fact that he's just probably a bad teammate at this point. And nobody wants to follow him.
Uh,
The NFL players, they
Wait a
done
minute.
seen
Wait,
him
wait,
through him.
wait, wait.
They was calling him fake and fronting,
Uh, what?
biracial fronting dude
Oh my God.
from the giddy up.
Fame? What?
Yes, sir.
What? You said all that trouble that he caused. What trouble did he cause?
Uh, well, because he got benched and then he got benched because for his lack of play, for his lack of performance, he was benched and had a hissy fit, and it basically was nothing more than an identity crisis
No,
he
no,
was
no,
going through
no,
as
no,
a
no, no,
biracial
no.
man.
Fame, fame. You said all
Yeah.
that trouble that he caused. Getting benched is not him causing trouble.
Well, he
No,
got thrown. Well, he got excommunicated from the league and
that
several
and
other
again,
players.
that's not him causing trouble. What trouble
Yes, it
did
is.
no? What
Yes,
trouble? How? How? Help me understand.
because he caused a lot of because as a backup, you ain't supposed as a backup quarterback, you shouldn't be making noise. And because he gets benched, he wants to all of a sudden have an identity crisis.
What did he do? What noise did he make?
That's disrupting his team
What noise did he make?
by fronting like he cared about the damn police brutality.
Wait, hold on. So you're
Became a
saying
civil rights activist.
wait?
It's no
Oh my
different.
God!
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wait,
Go ahead,
I
I'm
just
sorry.
want to make sure I understand the position that you're taking, so that if I disagree with it, I'm disagreeing with the actual position. You seem to be saying because he was a backup and he decided to, on the advice of, I believe, some veteran, take a knee during the national anthem. He shouldn't have been allowed to do that. That was him just causing trouble. That's what you're saying?
If we're gonna reduce it, for lack, for
I'm just
the
trying to understand it.
context, if you're reducing it, sure, we'll do that.
Okay. So as a backup, he shouldn't care about police brutality.
No, as a backup, he's got plenty of time to do that on his own time.
He
Don't
did it on
disrupt
his
the
own
scene.
time.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Not during the national anthem.
What?
And you got an off day on Tuesday every week. You can go do that then.
They're not playing the
You don't have to,
national anthem then. I doubt if he just walked around his house playing the national anthem. If you're going to protest, a silent, peaceful protest during the national anthem, you know when the best time to do it is during the national anthem.
I mean, that's great, but that's not the only time he could have done that. That's great. You know, that's because I'm sure that's the only time he hears it all week. It ain't like he planned it every week, every day.
Right.
So he wants to go show his ass.
No, he
got
actually,
benched.
hold on. Actually, initially, he was quietly sitting on the bench, drawing no attention to himself. None. Probably doing what you thought he should have been doing, quietly being a backup on the end of the bench, doing nothing. So how is that him drawing attention and causing problems?
Because it brought noise. As a backup quarterback, that's not your job to
sit
raise
down.
Noise.
It's not your job to sit down silently at the end of the bench.
Football is the only sport that you practice more than you play. Practice is repetition. You don't want disruptions at practice.
Wait,
one of them is the backup quarterback being an asshole.
Fame. What? And I'm really trying to understand. If you go sit down quietly, don't say anything, and mind your own business, how is that you creating problems?
Well, ain't that the media's job to notice that the backup quarterback's taking a knee during the national anthem?
No, he wasn't initially.
That's
Initially, he was just sitting on the end of the bench, saying nothing and drawing no attention to himself.
Again, as the beat writer of the San Francisco 49ers and other teams that were watching that, is that not their job to notice something like that? Like, what is he doing?
Right, but how is that his fault?
Again, as a backup quarterback, you're making noise.
No, he wasn't. He was doing the exact opposite of making noise. He was being silent.
He knew exactly what he was doing, that it would cause some problems. It would raise a stir, and he gets to show his little punk ass.
So wait, hold on.
Black and hard as hell now.
So Fame, just again, I just like to understand that because I'm disagreeing with you, but I want to make sure that we're saying the same thing, and I'm disagreeing with the right thing. You believe that him being a backup quarterback, he does not have a right to protest. He has to stand there, put his hand on his heart, and sing along with the Star Spangled Banner. That's what you believe. He is not just he should do, but he must do, no matter what he believes in. That's how you feel.
You're wearing a uniform as a team. Yes, you don't, free speech stops at your employee's door. So the minute he walks into Candlestick Park or Levi Stadium, whatever it was called at the time, you're a member of 53 now.
And so he must.
You're not calling the upset biracial guy.
And so he must stand during the national anthem, put his hand on his heart, and sing along.
I don't want my backup quarterback making noise. The same reason I would have gotten rid of Tim Tebow.
And you don't want him silent.
I don't need my backup quarterback making noise.
All right. Okay.
And as far as, like I said, and that's what happened with these woke people, people like D.L. Hughley, all types of people who don't even have a real connection to the sports, where just saw something that they saw on TV, didn't give it no context, didn't even care to think of any context. And then all of a sudden, these sixth graders who are essentially on a preschool field trip are done had their summer ruined because D.L. Hughley and other assholes done called them racist.
Well, it did look
Overreacting.
racist. It looked racist.
Overreacting.
It with all the facts in, it does look like it was overreacted. But again, I blame America for that. I blame America for that.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing with Colin. All it looks racist, like he's being done, but when you look everything, when you add up everything that he was benched, no, he was having a hissy fit. That's what was going on with him. He don't care about your black ass. What are you sitting fence, Emanuel?
Well, I don't know that that's true, and I don't know that there's any way
Took
for
his
you to
money
say
and
that
ran.
to any degree of certainty.
Took his money and ran.
He gave a
Grew
lot
up
of
on
money.
some damn-
Hold on, no, he gave a lot of money to a lot of black causes. He didn't just
He
take his
grew
money
up
and run.
He grew up with Mr. Drummond
Okay, and
and talking about impoverished conditions. Nigga, you ain't had none, so shut up.
wait, so if you've never been impoverished, you shouldn't care about impoverished people.
It's like a black. That's like the abortion debate. Men shouldn't talk about it
Fame,
because we're not having none.
Well, I disagree with that as well, but you're not making sense this time.
I'm just recycling everybody's whack ass argument about everything else.
Okay.
Colin Kaepernick, he played himself, and D.L. Hughley and all of Angela. Well, notice Angela Wright didn't say nothing. Why? Because she works for ESPN. She can't talk about Massa.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? But all the woke celebrities jumped on these damn 12-year-old kids, these sixth graders from Iowa, made them look like little jerks, and now realize like, oops, they was just kids having fun.
But again, I'll tell you who really made them. Thank you for your call. I'll tell you who really made them look like jerks. The broadcast network that put it on TV. That's who made them look like jerks. Not being, because there's a certain level of sensitivity that they have to give to the situation. There's a certain level of sensitivity. And if you see that and you're like, oh, that's cute, you can see you're there. You know that we can only see what's in the bounds of that camera. So if all you show us is white people putting cotton on a black boy's head, you know the picture that you're putting out. They could have, I'll tell you something, maybe some people, Fame, maybe you don't know this. They can pull back and show you that all of those kids had cotton on their head. Because somebody in that truck should have said, ooh, that looks racially insensitive. That looks insensitive. Just looking at the picture. But let's show that it's the whole team. That's what could have happened. That could have happened. So it's not the people who saw it. It's not necessarily our fault. It's the people who framed it and presented it to us that way. They had the ability to show the full picture. Literally, to show the full picture. And they chose to show just a portion of it. And in terms of Colin Kaepernick, if that man want to sit on the bench and be quiet, oh, he was making noise. No, he was doing the exact opposite of making noise. I do it every time I go to a sporting event and they ask people to stand up and take off their hats and do all of that stuff. I just sit there. I don't make a spectacle of myself. I don't holler out, F America. I don't do all of that. I just sit there silently and quietly because I respect your idea that this is a solemn moment. I respect that. So I don't want to take that away from you, but don't try to make me respect it. I got issues. So I let you do you. You let me do me. See, he's sitting there silently making all that noise. How much sense does that make? How much sense does that make? No, he was doing what I didn't have a problem with him sitting there silently. But then apparently some veteran said to him, look, instead of sitting there silently, just take a knee. That's very respectful. And that's not you, that's you showing some level of respect to us who risked our lives for this country. And he compromised and he said, okay, I'll do that. And then because he did what the veteran said do, it became a huge issue. So yeah, to say, oh, he was making all that noise. No, uh-uh, he wasn't. He was being silent. And I don't care what you do for a living. Those people who pay you don't own you. They don't own you. They can't force you to do stuff. They can't force you to do stuff that you don't want to do. You have a right, no matter who you work for, to still feel how you feel and believe how you believe. You got that right. And when of course, it bothers me that people push the notion that because you work for somebody else, they own you and they can make you believe and feel things that you don't believe and feel. If he was violating a rule, maybe they might have something to say, but it wasn't no rule. There was no rule. None. Look, I mean, I get it. Some people got it wrong on these little kids. Some people got it wrong, but a lot played into people getting it wrong. And I don't even I'm like, if you got it wrong, I understand. I understand. We live in America, bro. We live in America. All right, now with regard to this whole student loan thing, this is what my understanding, and I'm reading. I just clicked on it and it closed. Uh, I was gonna be reading from I don't remember which website that was. But basically, my understanding is Joe Biden says he's forgiven $10,000 in student loans, $20,000 in Pell Grants. So, if you got $20,000, not Pell Grants, and now I gotta pull it back up because Pell Grants you don't pay back. Where is it? Uh, CNN. We'll go to CNN. Biden forgives $10,000 for borrowers who make less than $125,000. Pell Grant recipients who make less than $125,000 per year get $20,000 in student loan debt forgiveness. I think I said that first part wrong. He's forgiving $10,000 for borrowers who make less than $125,000 per year. So if you've got $50,000 in student loans and you make $125,000 a year, but you were not eligible for Pell Grants, you make less than that, you get $10,000 forgiven. And I feel like I said that wrong too. You make less than $125,000 a year right now. But when you were in school, you were not eligible for Pell Grants. He's going to forgive $10,000 in student loan debt. Now, if you make less than $125,000 a year and during school you were eligible for Pell Grants, he's going to forgive $20,000 in student loan debt. All right? I know I said it right the last time because I was paying close attention. All right? I'll say it again because I botched it like 3 times. Here's the cap is 100. This is not 125. $125,000 is the cap. If you make more than that, you're on your own. You on your own. You should be able to pay that money back anyway. You shouldn't be complaining. You make more than $125,000 a year. You can pay $25,000 a year back and still be making six figures. So you cool. You cool. But if you make less than $125,000 a year, you might be in luck. If you qualify for the Pell Grant, Biden's plan will forgive $20,000 in student loan debt. That's while you were in school. If you qualified for the Pell Grant while you were in school, he gonna forgive $20,000 in student loan debt. Now, if you were in school and you did not qualify, which there's a financial component to that. So if you did not qualify for the Pell Grant when you were in school, he's gonna forgive $10,000 in student loan debt. And again, all of this is you have to make less than $125,000. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. I get it. There's, again, like I said, you make $125,000, you make enough money to be paying your student loans back. If you're not paying your student loans back and you struggling making $125,000, well, maybe if you live like in California or, some super expensive area to live in, maybe. Maybe. But if you live in Cincinnati or something comparable and you making $125,000 a year and you still complain about your student loans, you the problem. You are the problem. Just pay your damn student loans. You make $125,000 a year. Look, I'm not saying that's rich, but that's enough to pay your student loans. You make less than that? Okay. I don't know. That it seems quite arbitrary, but okay. Angela says, it jumped right before I got to it. Angela says Pell Grants weren't given out to many. I actually was eligible for Pell Grants. I was eligible for Pell Grants. They didn't give much money on the Pell Grant, but I was eligible for a Pell Grant. Fame says you should be a video game app, Angry Bird. All right. David says Stafford loans. Not sure what that means. Oh, when I was trying to figure out what he was saying, I knew it had something to do with Pell Grants. I just wasn't 100%. I had to go back and read it again, and then clearly I saw I botched it like 3 times even after that. So, and now people are attacking people. Look, y'all, stop attacking each other. Stop attacking each other. Talk about, look, Fame said a whole lot of wrong stuff. When I say wrong, I mean I don't agree with it, and it didn't seem to be very logical. Fame said a lot of wrong stuff, but he got a right to his opinion. Don't talk about him being ugly. Like, how does that help in terms of his opinion? And I'm sure he said some stuff to, bring on the stuff about being ugly. But instead of talking about each other, if you don't agree with what Fame had to say, call in. 513-717-KING. 513-717-KING. Call in and, give a different perspective. This is coming from Mr. Yo Mama. I only say Yo Mama when somebody begins to attack me. I really do believe I don't attack people. I retaliate. And that's a difference. There's a difference in my mind anyway. There's a difference. I don't attack people. I retaliate. So if you attack me, yeah, I might talk about your mama, your dead grandmama. Dig that B up. ever. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what I might say. Ain't no telling. So again, I said, don't attack people. Talk about ideas. Don't attack people. Talk about ideas. Um, Also, I'm not digging up nobody, grandmama and happening. I just say that sometimes because I know it make people mad. That sounds nasty to me. It's not something I would ever do. Um, Also, here in Cincinnati, why do y'all make me? Why do y'all make me go there? I don't understand why y'all do that. Wow. Okay, rules of engagement. Yeah, yeah. Don't attack me, and you don't ever have to worry about that. You can disagree with me, and you can say, I'm not sure that that makes sense, or whatever, whatever. But when you start getting personal and attacking me, well, I only said you was ugly, okay, and I only said I was gonna dig up your grandmama. That's all, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Um, did we see? Did we see? Let me see. Maya says, "Oh, I definitely know you'll talk about the dead as much you slandered my poor daddy. First, your daddy wasn't poor. Your daddy had like 4 riding lawnmowers. Poor people don't have 4 riding lawnmowers. And what he got the one? Why are you making me do this? I don't want to. I don't attack your daddy. He wasn't poor. I don't attack him. He was quite wealthy, and I respect him. I respect your daddy. And if he want 4 ride mowers, one for the front yard, one for the backyard, one for the left side of the house, one for the right side of the house, he got that right. He got that right. Um, yes, you would. The same guy that kills kittens and insects. Oh, I'll definitely kill insects. I accidentally killed a kitten or two. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. It was not intentional. You stay attacking bank accounts. I don't know what that means. How does one attack a bank account? I don't know what that means. If you tell me what it means, I'll respond to it. But I'm not sure what you mean. Or you could call in 717 King. Why y'all be scared to call this show? Why y'all be scared to call this show? I don't understand it. Um, uh, y'all hear this letter? How my daddy go from 2 ride mowers to 4? How many did he have? How many? Let's just get this out the way. This should take 30 seconds tops. How many riding mowers did your daddy have? And I'll keep it there. How many riding mowers did your daddy have? Um, a kitten or two. I think 2 of them ended up dying. Maybe it might have just been one. I don't remember. I think it was all possums that drowned. That sounds terrible. And I didn't drown them. So I take no responsibility for the drowning of the possums. And if this is your first time hearing any of this, there was an unfortunate incident, a couple years ago, where, a kitten ended up uh not living anymore. And some possum ended up drowning. Not my fault. 4 ride mowers. I think it was 4. I think it was 4. But Jerica said, what happened to all the calls? People get scared. People get scared. I don't know what happens. I guess maybe if I stopped reading the comments, then people would, have to call in to get their idea across, like Fame. And I'll give Fame, if you don't give Fame credit for nothing else, he didn't have a problem calling sounding stupid or sounding in such a way that didn't seem to follow any reasonable train of logic or reason. He didn't have a problem though. He didn't have a problem. I don't call because you're unreasonable. I'm definitely not unreasonable. I'm probably one of the more reasonable people that you will ever call in terms of a talk show. Because I'll let you get it out. And I ask questions not to trap you. A lot of people think that's what I'm trying to do. He's trying to trap me so they don't want to answer questions and stuff. I answer questions for clarity's sake. Like I told Fame, if I'm going to disagree with you, I want to at least make sure that I'm disagreeing with what it is that you're saying. So yeah, let me, as he put, let me boil it down. And is this what you're saying? Yes. Well, I disagree with you. Oh, got a call coming in. All right. Hold on a second, I got to take this call. All right. That was my daughter. And she said, sorry, I did not mean to call. What the heck? But yeah, that's that. That's that. Anyone you think has a little money, you try to make them feel ashamed for having bank. Who did I try to make feel ashamed? Look, all of my rich friends, they know I love the fact that they got money. I'm not trying to make anybody feel ashamed. And if you got money, don't feel ashamed. Don't feel ashamed. Not at all. Now, don't be mad because you got money and I know that you got money and I call out some of the stuff that you do because you have money. That's not me hating. That's look, if I wanted four riding mowers and I had the money to buy four riding mowers, I wouldn't be ashamed. You say, oh man, you got four riding mowers. Sure do. And that would be my point. I wouldn't be ashamed. Oh, I'm ashamed I have four riding mowers. No, no. If you got money and then somebody point out that you got money and you feel ashamed because of that, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Uh okay, so now we have a clip. My daddy only had two riding mowers. He had three snow blowers. See? You see what I'm saying? And so now when I go to talk about how many snow blowers he had, why would you need three blowers? Because he wanted them. Because he had the money to buy them. Don't say I'm shaming you. Uh, your brothers are still fighting over the last snowblower, and one of them live in Mississippi. You don't even get no snow in Mississippi. Does the little baby know about the kittens? Why would she know about the kittens? Why would I? D, why would I? Come here, little baby. What, grandfather? Let me tell you a story. Okay. Once upon a time, your grandfather killed a kitten. How'd you kill it? Well, the kitten climbed up in the car and I didn't know it was there. And I started the car and it got wrapped up in the belts. It was a horrible scene. She would be traumatized. Why would I tell her that? How did you get it out, grandfather? I mean, that would be horrible. Um, you call people stupid all the time. No, I really don't. I say that you might have said something stupid, but that doesn't necessarily make you stupid. I very rarely call a person stupid. You are not, necessarily like if you're ignorant about something, that means you're ignorant about that, but you're not just like an overall ignorant human. Just about that. Okay, that was ignorant. If you say something and it lacks any logical or reasonable foundation, and I say, that's illogical, that's unreasonable, That doesn't mean you as a human. That just means in this particular case. Now, every once in a while, I run across some stupid people. Hold on. Are we? Let me. And I want to talk about these zombie deer in just a minute. But are we like really? Because I know there was a time when people believed this. I don't know if people still believe this. Do we believe now that there are no stupid people? Do we still believe that there are no stupid people? Everybody's smart in their own way. Yeah. Or can we all acknowledge it might be some stupid people in the world? It might be some stupid people. And every once in a while, they might have called my show. And so I have a right to, you know, it might not be the most politically correct thing to say, but in terms of accuracy, I can't think of a time that I've ever said it when it wasn't accurate. Um, Somebody talking about them snow blowers and the one who live in Mississippi talking about he can blow leaves with it. No, not a blower blower. Snow blower is it's like a shovel and it shovels the snow up and sends it out of a chute. I don't think you can blow leaves with that. Not that kind of a blower. You're misunderstanding what the tool is. Uh Stop tap dancing. It's called pocket watching. No, it's really not. It's just called look, if somehow you know that I make $300,000 a year, if you know this, how's that pocket watching? If you've told me, if I've told you that I make $300,000 a year, do that mean you pocket watching? No, it's just an acknowledgement. Um, he needed 3 snowblowers because they kept coming out with better ones. And I got nothing against that. He was rich. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. About the little baby would never ride in the car with me again. What's up? What's up, McConnell? Gerald said, you called me an idiot on Sister Speak 4:17 p.m. 2013. Gerald, here would be my only question for you. When I if I actually called you that, and I'm not admitting that I did because I don't remember. Only question I would have is, were you saying idiotic shit? Like, I mean, did you not just say like one thing that was idiotic, but like a whole string of them to give the impression that your life revolves around idiotic things? And that's just a question. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember doing it. I don't know if I did it. But if I did, that would be my only question for you. People get mad if you call them crazy. You just saying, but it's a lot of people get mad if you call them crazy. Yeah, that's true. I try not to call people crazy. I'm not saying I never do, but I try not to. Uh, Jerica says there are no stupid or ugly people. That ain't true. That ain't true. There are stupid people. There are stupid people. You know me, I like to look up definitions. Stupid. Having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. That's the definition. But we got to get some of this stuff out of the way so I can be free to just talk. So if a person calls in showing a great lack of intelligence and common sense all at the same time, A great lack of intelligence or common sense. That's the definition of stupid. I didn't make it up. I just looked it up. Am I wrong to call them what they are showing me by, their actions? I'm just saying. Stupid people everywhere. One was a former orange president. um, let me see. Let me see. Uh, Deville says, no, it's more stupid people than smart people. All right. Uh, People dislike being called ignorant, but will straight holler, well, I didn't know, which is the literal definition of ignorant. Exactly. Exactly. So when people think I'm throwing out insults, I'm not. I'm not throwing out insults. I'm just putting the idea out there. Um, I know a person who said black people couldn't get COVID. Now that's stupid. Well, I don't know that that was stupid. That was definitely ignorant. It was definitely ignorant. And for those of you who, oh, you so arrogant, you don't ever think you're wrong. Of course, at the time, I was part of me, honestly, was just joking, but there was a little part of me that kind of believed it for a second. But that was ignorant. That was straight ignorant. Am I mad? I'm saying it. I was ignorant. I will even go as far as say I was ignorant as hell. You don't see me getting mad at me for saying that I was ignorant about something I was ignorant about. Do you? Do you? I did not know. I did not know. See how that worked? Um, have you given an update on the motorcycle rebuild project? I haven't given an update on the moped rebuild because to be completely honest, I've been busy and I haven't started it, but I was actually just thinking about it earlier. And I'm not gonna promise that I'm gonna start it this week, but I'm gonna start it soon. Well, I guess technically I started it. I replaced the gas tank and all of that kind of stuff, but I've come to the conclusion that I do need to pull off the engine and do a quick rebuild. And realistically, that should take a couple days, but it'll probably take me about a week. But I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know. I put any amount of money up that says he's smarter than you. All right, I'm not sure about that. Um, Shelly calling in. Kamikia says he called me. I did not call you ugly. I did not call you ugly. I no. I know 100%. I did not call you ugly. I think, and I don't really remember, so I'm hesitant to even hazard a guess. But I think you called somebody ugly, and I said, uh, "I'm sorry. I looked at your picture." That don't mean you ugly. That just mean I looked at your picture. That's it. That's it. Um. Oh my God. See, fame. That's the reason why people be calling you names. I mean, he wasn't lying though. Uh, you very average looking. That's horrible. That's horrible. That is horrible. Um. Let's see. Nah, you believed it. Well, that's what I said. Did you replace the transmission in the car? No, not yet. Not yet. Um. A narcissist doesn't care if they make ignorant or stupid statements. I'm not sure if that's true. Not sure if that's true. No, no. No one needs to slide Cleveland the number. Nobody here is like, oh my God, I wish Cleveland would call in. Nobody. Young girl safe all over the place because he don't know. Um, all right. Let me see. Ooh, I only got like 12, 13 minutes. Let me get to these zombie deer. Zombie deer. Yeah. Apparently, there are zombie deer. That's what their officials are calling them. Apparently, there was a deer that had gotten hit by a car, and when the police showed up, they found the deer just standing there, peering off into the distance. They say the deer wasn't, the sirens and lights and all that kind of stuff, and the people came up to it, and the deer just still just standing there like, and they like this deer should be dead, but it's standing there. They said it had weird patches of fur all over its body. Its skin was discolored. It should be dead. But somehow it was up, walking around, not scared of nobody, paying no attention to the people. Like, you try to walk up to a deer. Either two things gonna happen. They either gonna run or they gonna beat your ass. It's that simple. A deer is either gonna run from you or he gonna beat your ass. Or she. But this deer was like, I don't care about y'all. They say the term is actually called, I can't read this, epizootic hemorrhagic disease, EHD for short. The the symptoms include disorientation and shows little or no fear of humans. So they might appear feverish. They have a really pronounced swelling of the head, neck, tongue, and eyelids. They may have respiratory distress, lack of appetite, and weakness. Now they say, I don't trust none of this stuff. They say that this does not affect humans and it does not pose a serious threat to livestock. That's what they say. And they say the virus deteriorates in a fewer than 24 hours after death, so it can't be spread from deer carcasses. That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't watch enough zombie movies to know that might not necessarily be the truth. And they found these deer, these zombie deer, here in Cincinnati, over on the west side, which kind of makes some sense. But no, this is a real thing. There are apparently zombie deer running around. Yeah. So just be aware. And when they say stuff like, "Oh, it's not a threat to humans. Humans can't get it." Didn't we just go through something? We just went what the corona, and this is apparently a virus. It was the coronavirus, and ain't they kind of telling us that somebody maybe got it from a monkey or a bat or something like that? Somebody got it from a bat or a monkey or something. I don't necessarily believe that any of this stuff can't be transmitted. I don't believe that. And there's some hunter somewhere. Look, I know hunters, deer hunters. I know deer hunters. There's some hunter right there that's shooting a deer in the head. Think the deer's supposed to die. The deer look at him. He ain't scared of him no more. They gonna find a way to take that deer down and cut that up for meat. Like, I shot him right in the head. What did he do? He looked at me. And then he started just strolling right. Like he didn't even run. And I ran up to him and he wasn't scared. I didn't know what to do. So I cut his throat. He let you get close enough to cut his throat? Yeah, he sure did. It's the darnest thing I ever seen. So what did you do with it? Well, I mean, I took it home and I skinned it and, ground up the meat and made some venison stew. Next thing you know, you got zombies running around, real life zombies. But I guess the opposite, they don't have an appetite. Because they say that was one of the things with the deer is that they don't have an appetite. So maybe if you get the deer zombie virus, then you won't be eating brains because you won't have an appetite. But I'm telling you, I know some deer hunters. That wouldn't freak them out. That was a tough deer. What do you mean? I shot him in the head. He didn't die. What? What What kind of bullets did you use? You know what I'm saying? They'd be analyzing all that stuff. You the kind I normally do. Buckshot. I don't know. That's what they use. I don't actually know what they. I mean, I know buckshot is for that, but I don't know a hunter that hunts with a shotgun. They use high. Everyone that I know, they use those high power rifles. But yeah, it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. Let me see. There was something else that I wanted to discuss. Something else. Um, oh, this is what I want. I haven't actually seen the pictures. I just keep seeing uh different stories about it. Did anybody see the pictures, I guess, in or on Vogue magazine of Katanji Brown Jackson? It is Brown Jackson, ain't it? Man, did anybody see her pictures? Because people are complaining that they're not good. People are complaining that they're not good. And I want to get a sense from people who know this type of stuff. Was it really not good? Was it really not good? Were they that bad? I did want to talk a little bit. I got like 12 minutes. I want to talk a little bit about that report that John London did on WLWT. And I heard him talking to Lincoln Ware today. I watched the report yesterday. About down and over the Rhine, kind of the forgotten part of over the Rhine. And they're talking about the fact that, look, there was an issue over there where them bars are, and they took care of that. They took care of that. They're redoing all these other parts of over the Rhine. But there are certain parts of over the Rhine that's not good. There's certain parts of over the Rhine that are neglected, little crime ridden. I like Avtab Pureval. I mean, every time I've met him, he's a personable guy. He seems like a good dude. And I think maybe this is something that people need to bring to his attention and say to him, dude, you talked about, and you had a press conference about the crime that happened over, down on Main Street and how it's unacceptable and that the city is going to do something about it because it won't be tolerated. What about what's going on down here? Is that unacceptable? Or, I don't know, is that acceptable? Because if you're not telling us, you know about it now, you watch the news. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, you watch the news. So now you know about it. If there's no action, is that you saying, well, that's acceptable? And we will tolerate it. We gotta call him out. I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna ask, maybe reach out and see if I can get him on the show. Reach out and see if I can get him on the show. And I really just want to know, is that something in Cincinnati that is acceptable and that will be tolerated? Or does your administration have any plans to do anything about it now that it's been brought to your attention? D says it's slow gentrification. It's slow gentrification. All right. Mayor says, I saw that OTR story too. Crazy how one block is condos, restaurants, and shops, and the next one looks crazy. It's parts of downtown they just don't give a damn about. We got to make them give a damn. We got to make them give a damn. And sometimes the only way, the best way to make them give a damn is to, just ask them flat out, do you even give a damn? Because if they don't, I'm a big believer in you get people on the record. You get people on the record. And if you say, yes, I care just as much about that part of town as I do about that part of town, then you see that that part of town is in crisis. We know what you did for this part of town when it was in crisis. So if you care just as much, we want to see you do just as much. And so sometimes just asking the question and getting them to say, yes, I care. Sometimes that moves them. And then even if that don't, well, now you got it on the record. We know what happened and how you responded to this. But we know that you knew what was happening here because you talked about it and you're on the record saying you were going to do something about it, but you did nothing. He says they want the residents to complain so the city won't look like they're pushing poor people out. And I know, one of the things, there was somebody, I can't remember her name or what organization she was over, but she was saying she's not asking to be over policed. Because there's a fine line there. There's a fine line there. Like, hey, we got some issues. And what can happen, because y'all know, sometimes people sometimes people get sarcastic. I would never do anything like that. But sometimes people get sarcastic. So you say, hey, there's an issue down there. Maybe that deserves the same attention that got. But what happens is they send 100 police to police, 3 blocks. And so all they do is just run around harassing people, giving people tickets, locking people up for like little minor things that they would never do in other areas because, oh, you want more police? Well, we'll show you what more police look like. It's kind of that attitude. Nobody's asking for that. Nobody's asking for that. There's some really smart people with decades of experience with policing, with community development, and all of those type of things. Decades of experience with that. They can do it without being exceptionally heavy-handed with the residents. They can do it. They know how to do it. But sometimes, like I said, they'll be sarcastic. So the next thing you know, everybody getting locked up. So I was just walking down the street, minding my own business. Did a little something, I crossed the street, not at just a jaywalking. And now I get to search you and what you got in your pocket. And, well, you're talking back. That's disorderly conduct. And the next thing you know, you're in jail with 32 charges because you crossed the street. That's not what anybody's asking for. That's not what anybody's asking for. But if you're not careful, that's what you'll get. So you have to, try to be careful about the way that you ask people to do things. Carolyn says, yeah, please get him on the show. I'm gonna put it in a call. I know he used to listen to the show when I was on the radio station. So, unlike some people in Cincinnati, he's aware of who I am. So maybe I can get him on. Y'all understand. It's hard for me to get people on. But I will try. All right. I got a call. Brent.
Hey, what's going on, Emanuel?
Hey, how you doing, Brent?
Oh, I'm fine. Glad you made it back from the Gospel Super Duper Fest there in Columbus. With everything being all right.
So. Everything, yes.
Excuse me. But yeah, the student loans with Biden and the $10,000. Yeah, thank you for clarifying on that with the $10,000 for non-federally backed loans and the $20,000 for the federally backed loans. So that's at first I thought $10,000, that's nothing, but with the way interest and everything stacks up on those loans, that's be a huge relief off of folks.
Yeah.
And, I had student loans back in the day, and I know some folks, I wanted retroactive to have mine done and everything. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure the slaves retroactively would have wanted to be free too, back when they were, fully in bondage. So sometimes you catch it, sometimes you don't. But hopefully those that do have student loans are going to be able to, pay it off a little bit quicker
Yeah, and look,
and
and
stop finding.
I'm with you, Brent, and all the people who saying like $10,000 is a drop in the bucket. Okay, it's a drop in the bucket, but it's a $10,000 drop in the bucket. I'll take a $10,000 drop in the bucket as opposed to 0 drops in the bucket, and
Right.
live with that. When you say it can interest on $10,000 can be significant.
Yeah. And those, student loans that weren't backed by the federal government, folks were accused of accruing interest when they took out the loan. So it wasn't that deferred interest till 6 months you get out of college. So yes, anything they can get paid off early and in advance, that's great, and also helped with folks with the moratorium on the interest for student loans. Now, the folks that are going to be most upset are these pension fund managers and all of these other financial institutions that package up those student loans to sell them back and forth, because now they're not going to get a good of return as they've gotten in the past.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So folks who are out there who are able to take advantage of it, great. I would say, don't try to do any PPP related scams because they're gonna come for you. So yeah, so just keep it on the up and up there. But why does switching topics? Why does Cincinnati have such an issue when it comes to animals? So now y'all got zombie deer.
Yeah.
That's floating around, and y'all had, what else y'all have? Yeah, someone stole a wolf statue, which I got an idea of, where that may be. I may have to call Lisa Baker. But, you got kittens come up missing in car fan belts and
don't forget the monkeys. I'm still looking for them monkeys in the trees.
Yeah, you got to watch out for them too. And then you had Harambe back in the day, and a lot of folks, and especially white folks, still mourning Harambe dying. But man, y'all just have issues when it comes to that. We dealt with this rain and had some flooding, but thankfully not where I was down here. But man, y'all just go through it. So, but yeah, that's all I have for you today.
All right. Hey, Brent, I appreciate your calling.
All right, take it easy.
All right, you do the same. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. Got some important things going on. I got to pick up this little baby. That's really it. Just pick up the little baby. Yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all being patient as I went through my little technical difficulties. But we got it figured out. I intend on being here tomorrow. I don't have anything planned, so I fully intend on being here tomorrow. As always, I appreciate y'all, and hope something amazing happens in your life today. Until next time, it's been the Afternoon Experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.